putting her in lane one. The pace setters are right next to her. They're not starting her on the outside. She wants the cleanest and straightest line to run the mile distance today.
Well, absolutely. The cleaner the race, the more you're on the rail. I got to tell you, she's made us a little greedy, Paul. Every time she gets to the line, we're wondering, could it be another world record? But she's definitely within her limits. I do believe her 1,500 time that she ran earlier this year is better than the world record in this event.
And don't forget about all the great talent that will more than likely, Cara, be behind her in this race. Kira McGeehan of Ireland, from Winnie Hailu, Laura Muir, Nikki Hiltz, and Elise Cranny of the United States, perhaps looking at the American record in this event that's held by Mary Slaney for 1671. But already in the early going, this is all about Faith Kipyegon and a world record attempt.
You know, she makes the other women better just by being in a race with her. We hear them talk afterwards about how exciting it is to be in a race with her. She's really what they're all aspiring to be. So we already see some distance and some daylight. Obviously, the pacemakers are going to keep her on that world record pace as long as possible. The longer she can relax and run on that rail and look up at them, the less work she has to do, more likely we're going to see that record.
So Kipyegon behind the two pace setters for this race, Winnie Nanyando, and the American Christy Schofield, who was the NCAA champion for Boise State a couple of years ago. As they come through that line, again, they start just before the finish line for this mile distance, but on track right now and on pace.
And Paul, just to tell you how good this field is, the woman leading the chase pack, Laura Muir, she's an Olympic medalist and a world championship medalist. She's no scrub out there. So this is an incredibly deep field. It just shows you what Kipyegon has done with this event and how she's pulling it out. It's interesting to see Hailu go with her. She's had a great season, and she wants to test herself against the best.
Yeah, back there in that chase pack, you see Muir leading it. Jessica Hall, who ran collegiately at the University of Oregon. McGee is in there, Elise Cranny, and then right behind her, Nikki Hiltz, the U.S. champion at 1,500 meters. Schofield's now going to step aside. Nanyando will take the groove, and in a glorious stride right now, Kipyegon, as they'll come to the half-mile mark, 2:04.10. And Cara at half mile in 2019, it was 2:08.20 for Hassan, well ahead of the world record here in Monaco.
Well ahead, and we've noticed that Kipyegon, she does run better when she's a little bit more evenly paced. So she's going through perfectly even right now. This is the pace she wants to maintain. She's on right under that world record pace right now. And now is when it gets hard for her. Now is when the questions start to come in. She's about to lose her final pacemaker, and now she's the one in charge. She has those lights to look at. She knows what she needs to do, but now it really comes down to her own guts and determination.
And look at the advantage she now has against this world-class field. As she comes down off the final turn for the penultimate time, the crowd now sensing history. 3 minutes elapsed on the clock, and 1 lap to go.
Woo, Paul, this is good. She is right under that world record pace, just barely under it by 1/100th, a 10th of a second. But look at how relaxed she looks. Her face is so calm. Everything is together. Everything's moving forward. And now we start to see those arms go a little bit more. She's digging deep now. She knows this is where it's going to take. This is when it's going to happen.
Already world records this year in Paris at 5,000 meters, Florence in the metric mile at 1,500 meters, and she extends her lead now with a half lap to run.
She has really opened up now. She is on that pace. She knows it. She feels it. She has to dig deep. We saw her grimace just a little bit, which we don't see from her very often, but that's because she knows she has to dig a little bit deeper to get that record as she comes down now.
The world record is 4:12.33. She is going to shatter the world record on this track in Monaco. 2023 brings a trio of world records for Faith Kipyegon as she breaks the world record of the mile by more than 4 seconds.
Paul, that was insane. She absolutely obliterated that. I never thought I'd see a woman go sub 410 in my lifetime, and to see her not only go sub 410 but to go way under it is just incredible. She's just on a different level, and she's raising the bar so much for our sport, for women everywhere.
And Prince Albert is celebrating up in the VIP box, and why not? And the pace setters like Schofield are congratulating her as well. And now start looking at all that performance behind her. National record, Bajian, high-low season's best, national record for Great Britain, area record for Jessica Hall, and right there, Nikki Hiltz, a new American record as they finish in 6th in 4:16:35.
4:16:35 is so fast. What a race out of Nikki Hiltz. After Nikki Hiltz, you know, they've just been building all season. I think that American Championship, winning that national title, really let Nikki know that they are ready to do whatever it is that they want to do. 4:16, new American record. And as you said, as we look down that list, everybody, seasonal best, national records, is truly amazing. But it also shows you that Kipyegon, she is just in a class of her own. She was on her own on that straightaway, and it just shows you how dominant she is.
She came into the season talking about the records being what she was after. So how does she just kind of reorient herself now? She's still got a world championship event to prepare for.
Paul, she has everything she could ever want. You know, she started at this level 2015 at the World Championship, silver medal in the 1500. She hasn't gotten worse than a silver medal at the World Championship since 2015, a silver in Doha. Everything else has been gold. She's going to have to find it within herself. I'm sure that her daughter Alin will be inspiring her to go and defend that title, but what an athlete and what greatness.
13 women finished the race, 12 personal bests, 5 national records, and now a world record.